So the Springboks have just announced their first lineup of the November internationals. They will be taking on Scotland, and there are some interesting choices throughout this lineup. Originally, Rassie was going to be announcing his side on Tuesday, delaying it until Friday, but we did see an injury for the Springboks midweek. We also saw Rassie's birthday on the day it was originally going to be announced, so they have switched it to today. But we will start with the front row. It is number 1, Oxnashare, number 2, Bongyombanambi, and number 3, Thomas du Toit. Now, because of the injury that we saw of Frans Malherbe, it meant there was going to be a switch in that number 3 jersey, whether it was going to be Thomas du Toit, Vincent Koch, Wilco Lowe. They have decided to give Thomas du Toit the crack, so I'm curious to see how he goes in the locking duo. This is where Eben Etzebeth is at number 4. He will be the captain for the Springboks here. And number 5, Franco Mostert. Now, I would have absolutely loved to know if Ruan Nokia hadn't picked up the injury that he did. Would he have been starting in this game up against Scotland? Would he have gotten priority because he played all throughout the Rugby Championship? Or would they have gone back to that experience and the recently injured Mostert now returning, raring to go for some minutes in the loose forward trio? This is where Rassie's biggest curveball has been thrown. Number 6, Mako van Staden. Number 7, Elric Lowe. Number 8, Quagga Smith. Now, I actually slightly joked about this on the lineup prediction. I said, what if they go Mako van Staden, Elric Lowe, Cameron Hanekom, an all balls loose forward trio, and if it wasn't for Quagga Smith's 50th test match, perhaps we could have actually seen that. But Quagga, of course, bringing up the big 5-0. That man has been a menace off the bench for the Springboks for a very long time. Thoroughly deserves to get a starting spot, and that is exactly what he has here in the backline. Number 9, Jaden Hendrickse, partnered with 10, being Honore Pollard. So they have gone with that experience. In terms of that fly half, Honore Pollard more than likely will have the kicking responsibilities for this game. And then maybe Jaden Hendrickse later on in the game. But we need to mention it is a 7-1 split off the bench. So with the exception of Grant Williams, there is no other cover for that backline. I mean, you could say Quagga. He has played a bit of 7s in his time, so perhaps could slot straight back into that backline. In the midfield, it is Andre Esterhuizen at number 12 and number 13, being Lukanyoam. Out on the left wing, Makazole Mapimpi gets the nod here with number 14, being Kanan Moody, and number 15. This is where we see Willie LaRue, and if he plays all 3 matches throughout November, he will get to bring up his 100 caps, and some people feel that is as far as Willie LaRue will go. But looking through at the starting lineup, like I said, it's a real mix. And some would argue, in terms of their strongest side, you could say that the props are probably there, the locks are there, and then, very experimental. We don't see Jesse Creel, Damien Dialendi, Cheslin Colby, Kurtley Aronsa, Apalele Fasi, all men who are missing, and you would assume that that means that they're getting thrown straight into that match next week up against the English. But off the bench, it is number 16, Malcolm Marks, number 17, Gerhard Stennekamp, and number 18, Vincent Koch. So they have not broken up the start of the bomb squad. In fact, they have added reinforcements to it for the 7-1 split. Number 19, Arges Neyman, back from his injury. Number 20, Sia Khaleesi, and number 21, Peter Steph du Toit. But that is not where the physicality and the big names stop, because they also have Jesper Wiese to make his way off the bench. So I would say from looking at that, we could see just a straight switch in the loose forward trio, maybe 50 minutes into the game, depending on how the momentum is going. But Scotland, they are not an easy beat. They will make this game tough at Murrayfield. So the last thing that the Boks want to do is give the Scottish a nice lead. But then saying that, if anyone knows how to get by a thin margin and knows how to win in important games, it is certainly this South African side. Number 23, Grant Williams. He's got a lot of pressure on him. He is the one back replacement for this game, so the last thing that the Springboks want is an early injury. But one thing is for sure, they have put a side out that screams physicality, and that they're going to meet the Scottish head on, just not head on head, because or else then that is when the cards come. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We are going to be doing the live commentary on the channel for the South African versus Scotland game, so also be sure to check out that. It is kicking off at 5:10 a.m. on Monday, New Zealand time. That is a 6:10 p.m. kickoff on Sunday for you guys in South Africa. But thank you all very much for watching. We are also covering All Blacks versus Ireland, taking place in only around 5 hours time, so be sure to check that out as well. But let me know what you think of this lineup, and I will see you all for the next one.